pull you back. You know, I thought I was done with casting. Someone pulled me back in, and then pulled me into prod afterwards. No, someone's just there to pull me back.
The caster to prod pipeline is back. It's been kind of dry for the last couple years, but man, I've started seeing more and more casters in this past year go to work on the other side of the prod desk, being observers, replay ops, or producers. It is fully back in full circle here. But you said you worked on Rising Core. That's gonna be really fun because eventually we're gonna have Echo back on here. And go ahead.
Unfortunately, so.
Unfortunately, well, Echo is the reason I even got started in production, because Echo at some point was just like, I need someone else to produce that's not just me, so we could have like someone on other days. And I was like, hey, if you could teach me, I'm willing to, and that's where it started. I was solely just doing it to help out Echo on Rising Chord, and then Hippie found out I was doing Rising Chord, and then Hippie tried to get me into CGL. And that's how the caster to production pipeline happened.
It's exactly how it started in Tranquility as well. Hippie would just take casters and just say, okay, hey, observer. And they're like, okay. Hi, Zay.
Oh, yep, that is Zay, all right. Hi, Zay.
No, eventually we're going to have Echo come back on. And I don't know how much you've been involved with Rising Chord, but next time Echo comes on, it's going to be just, I think, an iceberg of Rising Chord. And whether or not the episode ever gets released is going to be the interesting thing. But it'd always be fun to have more people who have worked in Rising Chord a part of that.
I mean, it's been a great community one way or another. At least I learned stuff, and I think that was the great thing about being in Rising Chord, was learning skills I never knew I had.
Absolutely. Mega, what do you have to say about that?
I love how every single time, like, Rising Chord mentioned is literally almost like triggering a fight or flight within me at this point. And I find that incredibly funny. Just because it's like hot Rising Chord, but listen, you know, it's oh goodness, there's good and bad, as there is with every online community, but you know, sometimes you gotta smack people around in the bad. It's great. Listen, to be fair though, with some of the stuff Echo's been doing nowadays, I don't know how much she'll care about some of the Rising Chord drama, because she's getting into whole new levels of drama. It's great.
Oh boy.
I haven't talked.
Well,
to Echo
that's for talking with Echo another time.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Echo in a while. I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
It's BG3 drama, and it's so funny.
Oh my
god, it's
God.
unbelievable. Like, ask her about it genuinely. She will love to tell you.
How is she still on that?
No. Fun fact, actually, you know, Echo lore update in the middle of this podcast. She's actually become a BG3 modder. So, you know, if you want poses for photo shoots in BG3, Echo puts out some great stuff on what's the fucking platform called? Nexus.
Oh no.
So go and, you know, peep that shit.
Oh no. Echo's a modder for BG3. Fucking Knock. Fucking is learning. Yeah. Knock's learning Blender so he can make his cat girl in Final Fantasy.
That's what Echo's doing.
Dear
and the beanie stuff. Like, oh my gosh. That's what I remember that from last night.
Oh my god. No, Nog tried to show it. Like, he was showing us, like, hey, yeah, here's this hat I'm making. And it's like, it's just like, oh yeah, I have all these other files. It's like, dear God. It just
for the love of cat girls.
Somebody should get him like a Christmas card or something and be like, hey bud, you doing okay?
Knock?
Yeah.
If we need to get Knock a Christmas card and with that statement, I think we need to get Echo a Christmas card with that same exact statement.
No, she's too far gone. Like I've done the math on that one. She's too far gone.
I think it's the same for Knock. I feel like I remembered about all this modding
before. No, I'll take Mega's word for it, because you have to remember, Knock is like just out of college. Echo is married and has a kid.
Mm.
Hang on, let me go to
Plural.
my DMs
Oh, yeah,
and tell
kids.
Echo to not watch this
Plural, kids.
No, you add Echo saying, "Hey, make sure you watch the episode."
No, I'm literally DMing her right now. Do not watch this episode.
That's gonna make her watch it.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
but positive note for Echo though. Shout out for bailing my ass over the weekend. I had like so many questions on producing, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Echo, help! Echo was helping. Okay, thanks. Only way I got through CGL this weekend. That's it. That's it.
Was Knock helping at all, or was he just there being annoying?
Oh, Knock was there because he needed help, and I was the one who was asking him help. He was asking help from, and same also for TTL was going to me for help. So it was very weird because, hey, I don't produce normally. I've only interacted with this package starting playoffs. I have no idea what I'm doing either.
I mean, you did a really good job. Like the 2 times I've had you as a producer, you've done a really good job. Like almost to zero like mistakes at all with it so far. So off to a really great start.
It's fine. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes, which is good.
Behind the scenes is just that gif of SpongeBob, his mind, where all the SpongeBob's are just trying to put out every fire.
Mm.
All right, but let's actually get on to the normal, at least the normal part of the podcast here for a little bit, and then we'll divulge back into BG3 and Nox Catgirls, I guess. So Thor, normally with our guest here, we like to ask them 2 questions. One basically leads to the other here, but it is what got you in, what keeps you coming back. So what got you into esports, and more importantly, what got you into esports prod, whether it be casting or like you kind of said, you're picking up now doing the other side of prod, being producing and observing.
Okay, so the interest more than anything was less about the interest in esports and more of wanting to help people out. So back in Overwatch Tranquility, there used to be a really popular segment before called Beat Drop, and that was managed by Captain Jack for a while. And I remember significantly he was struggling to get people to help out, keep that running. And that's where I pretty much got my start, was doing the interviews for that segment. And from there, pretty much transitioned to casting because, hey, if there's one thing, these for fun tournaments really need more is staffing to make sure the production happens, right? So I transitioned into casting at some point with some help from Door. So pretty much Door was one of those who also kind of got me better at casting. It was Door, it was Booth, and Captain Jack. Those were like the probably 3 who got me started through casting and all that. And what makes me come back to it more than anything is the ability to storytell what's happening in the game, whether it's from the perspective of a play-by-play or in the role I feel more comfortable in, which is color casting. And I think my favorite part about being color more than anything is when you're in the elos of plat, diamond, where anything goes, any comp goes, that's where the fun is because you're theory crafting. Like, why does this work? How is this working? And I think that's part of the fun of being an analyst in that general elo of games. So that's what kept me returning to casting and why I continue to doing it. I think there's a lot of shifts in meta, but at the end of the day, meta is something that's more of like, hey, what's also comfortable for the team? And knowing what and highlighting what people are comfortable with, what people are strong at. I think that's why I love casting and how I got myself continuing and all that. And in true nature, back to the whole roots of I just like helping people out, sadly, is hey, someone needed help with producers. If you teach me how to do it, I will do it. So pretty much has been the mantra of how I stay around in the esports scene. It's the community around it and just wanting to be part of that community and helping out a community. Ta-da!
I'm trying to remember when I joined Trank, was beat drop still a thing? I don't think it was. I never necessarily remember it, but I was only at Trank, I think the final like 3, maybe 4 seasons of it. That was
Mhm.
when I think Hippie really started to take over a lot
Yeah.
of the prod stuff. Oh, but another quick thing here. We had Yeti on, who was a big face of Trank, was a big face of
Yeah.
SPCS. It's really funny because the week after he was on, he put out that statement saying like, "Hey, he's stepping away from the day-to-day work on SPCS," and I completely understand why he did that. Like, again, I think it's mostly he wants to be with his kids, which again I completely understand. But Yeti was really really fun working in Trank, but the fact he got to work with Door, especially because that was, I have to imagine, either right around the time where Door was starting to pick up a lot of stuff with contenders, or just before then, like especially being there at that moment and having Door. Oh, let me ask: was Door already doing contender stuff, or was this just before that?
This was already Door doing contender stuff. This is so the catch of all of this is I am really close friends with someone Door knows IRL. Like Door and this person are buddy buddy. So pretty much since I'm very close friends with that person, I somehow have that direct connection to Door. I've met Door in person. I've gone to a theme park with Door in person. So I've seen the man. But pretty much I think just recently it's very funny because Door is trying to kind of get back actually to
Hmm.
being interested in casting Overwatch again and seeing the lay of the land for it. I from what I know, he kind of took a break from all of it, and we did like this. I don't know if you're all familiar with the whole like, hey, have a PowerPoint presentation just about anything kind of hangout.
Hmm.
Did that as a group of friends, and Door pretty much did a presentation on catching and throwing for casting and why the current scene for like Overwatch casting is a mess. And that's like kinda like not in like the higher like OWCS casters, but more of like in the fledgling middle. Like there's a lot of training for throwing and catching that needs to be worked on in
Hmm.
his eyes. But he really honed in some key details on throwing and catching that I was like, thank you for this refresher. I now feel awkward about myself because I do sometimes fail to throw at the proper time. And I will be judged by it by Dor now whenever he sees a video.
Oh god, that I just I would hate that. Like I imagine Hunter, me, I think there's definitely some
Mm.
times where me and you are very bad at throwing it and catching it to each other with the facet stuff, but
Mm.
like I think it's really funny because I think I might actually I think I might actually be the last person Door casted with.
Oh my gosh.
It was the final season of Trank, and Door just showed up randomly when there was a fill.
Yeah.
Someone needed a fill, and Door just said, "Hey, I can do it." And that was just so random because I forget what role he took, but I know I took his normal role. I don't remember which one it was. So it was like it was very interesting because he was telling me during breaks and after like what I was doing good, what I was doing bad. Like it was in an impromptu kind of like VOD review during an actual cast, which was kind of fun.
I remember that experience also. There was a match back in Trank at one season where I was casting and it just so happened Dor was my prod. Dor wasn't casting, Dor was my prod. And he was giving me tips back then, and that's when I was really just like starting out, kind of getting in the groove of things. I was probably around my second season of casting in Trank when he covered for production for me. And the funny thing is, the reason why he even agreed to produce that match was because it was the match of his friend, and there was no producer, and he was like, "Well, I want my friend's cast, like my friend's match to be casted, so and produced. So I'm gonna step in and do the production if there's casters." So that's what ended up happening. He's
Yeah.
the real one.
Yeah, no, he was, but like especially like again, you know him real life, but what was it kind of like when you were first getting started with casting, like getting a lot of tips from someone who is already at a pretty high level of it?
I think what I appreciated more than anything when I was starting out was the fact that there was really no condescension or whatever. It was really just, hey, there's this new person who wants to learn. And there was like this openness to share knowledge on how to get better, or even starting with like what the basics are, right? I think that's what Door at least tried to impart right away in terms of starting out is I think he drilled a lot about the throwing and the catching, and at least tying in like where is a great time to throw. And I think one of the more obvious things he taught me pretty early on was um you have to make it obvious when you're throwing, because sometimes there really are people who you're throwing and they don't know you're already throwing. So I think that's why certain people, and I've really had experience with this with casting one way or another, is there are some people you kind of know how to vibe with in the casting, right? The throw and the catching is very seamless because you already know their cues and you do it a lot more frequently with them. And then there's definitely some others where you're kind of off pace, and sometimes it really is just because, the cues aren't as obvious between each other.
Yeah, I feel like especially when it's those times where, like the person doesn't know you're throwing to. I feel like the obvious and easy way to do it is just say the person's name to let them know, like, hey, you gonna be ready to catch this ball here, dude? You be able to run with it. I need you to run with it, please. Be able to catch this ball. Don't fumble it at the goal line.
God. It's such the simple go-to as well, where if you don't have any synchronization, if I say your name and then do a throw, 10 times at a time I'm expecting, all right, they're gonna pick it up. Certainly just the act of having your name called should like trigger just a response in your caster brain to be like, oh, my time to shine. All right, let's go. I've never seen it not work, and I know I've cursed myself because now it's at some point going to not work, and I will not know what to do with myself.
Ready for Wednesday, Hunter?
Good God. I'm just going to toss it. You're just going to go silent. And I'm like, well, GG's, guys. Broadcast over.
You're going to toss it. I'm just going to say, yeah. And then it's going to be like 2 seconds of silence.
You're just going to sound disinterested. It's like, Dex, I mean, that was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Totally. Dear God. But like, I feel we talked about throwing or handing off to casters in the past, or with other casters in the past, and it's always an interesting thing because I feel like everyone, like, there's a lot of stuff you learn when you're first starting casting. Throwing and being able to actually receive it are stuff that you kind of learn on your own, but there is definitely still a little bit of work you still have to do to. You good there, Hunter?
Yeah. Oh,
Hunter
my
is
camera's
having
frozen.
a moment.
Oh, no, my camera's frozen straight up. All right. Oh, no, I'm alive. Okay. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and make sure OBS stays tabbed open to be safe. And we'll pretend that didn't happen.
God, this is the technical difficulties.
It is. And it has no reason not to work. I don't get it.
Yeah. But I feel like I was saying, I feel like being able to throw and receive or hand off or whatever the phrase that people use, like that each and every individual caster uses, like it's something that you learn kind of on your own with it. But there are those times, especially in VOD reviews, where people will point, or whoever you're getting the review from will point out, like, they were throwing it to you here and you just didn't pick up on it fast enough. That's why there was that odd little second of delay there, or half second of delay. And it's always interesting because, like Thor, like you said, like sometimes you can't necessarily tell, or like sometimes the other person doesn't necessarily tell or figure out, like, hey, you're setting up the throw to them, and it's just like 1 second of dead air, and it's like, because I like there's that 1 second dead air where there's nothing going on. And you're like, oh god, do I have to keep talking?
I understand that feeling, and I think what even becomes a bit more chaotic is when you're trying to do the whole throw and catch when you're in specific types of compositions when you're playing in Overwatch, right? Like there are some comps where you don't know when the fight's ended or when it started or if it's still going, and so it's in that weird, right? Do I toss it to my color now? Do I toss it to my play-by-play? Like I think the best example for it is always any Wrecking Ball comp. I've no idea what's happening 24/7, and it's like vibes.
Wrecking Ball comps and Doomfist comps fall into the same kind of place for me with it, where it's a lot of vibes, it's a lot of chaos, it's all over the place. But if you can accurately, or at least somewhat accurately, cast it, man, does it sound good. But Mega and Hunter, like, what about you guys when it comes to, like, handing off or throwing it to someone else or trying to pick it up from someone else, like those moments there, like what is your guys' kind of experience with it, both on the good side of it and the bad side of it?
Again, the bad side of it is obviously when there is that lack of synergy. There's like a gap in between the throw and it being picked up, and it's not inherently anybody's fault. Honestly, you will have duos that have been working with each other for years that the moment someone stops, they know to pick it up immediately. They know each other's cadences to a T, and you don't always get the same thing when it's, hey, two random casters coming together to do a diamond match. It doesn't sync up like that. So for me, I just kind of accept it. I realize, listen, there's no way this is going to be perfect. It's never going to hit that tempo. And if it is, awesome. If not, doesn't matter. We are getting practice here. We're watching a good game. That's what matters to me. I mean, a lot of the good experiences I have, though, are specifically with you. But that's because I've casted with you more than any person now, and I have like forced you into the casting room the past 6 months.
Hunter, let me tell you how many times me and you have casted this year alone. 52.
All right, 52. That sounds about right, actually. Okay,
And 10
Only
times last year.
52?
Yeah.
Does that count? Like, does that count like the double feature games?
Those are
Or-
always double feature. Yeah. I count those as two.
If you think about it, 52 means once a week.
Yeah.
52 plus this podcast has been pretty much weekly besides 2 weeks, and I don't think that's tabulated in there. You spent almost a third of your year together.
Yeah, 52
Second favorite ship of Mega.
Oh god.
That's great.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, this is
Oh my god.
This is what got talked about while you were
He
disconnecting. I
sounds
wasn't gonna say it.
so. He
I
sounds
wasn't gonna
so
say it.
insulted. Oh my god.
I never thought of it.
He
I
sounds
don't-
so insulted. Damn.
No, this is like it's
Dear
great.
God.
This is like workplace yaoi. It's very wholesome.
Exactly.
Oh god, speaking of workplace yaoi, shout out to whatever artist over the weekend basically did the two Chinese team yaoi and then the two fucking Saudi Arabia teams yaoi. I wanted to make such a joke about that, saying like, you can't make this joke in Saudi Arabia. They will you won't
be happy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mega, do you want to take the off-topic moment here to talk about the tweet?
Well, I was gonna say if you needed a bailout, listen, that tweet was killing me. I mean, I was gonna get back on topic and answer the question, but like, we could also go to the tweet.
I mean,
Listen, this tweet blew up over the weekend, and like it killed me. This dude, I don't know how much fucking time you have on your hand. What kills me the most is because it's like, okay, he's fucking talking to himself. The quote tweets is all just Moon Knight images. It's all just fucking Moon Knight image. Like, bro is just having a conversation with himself and like voicing the different listen, this took a lot of time. I hope Homeboy got the Twitter clout he deserves.
He doesn't have it. He's doing this shit for free.
Yeah, he doesn't even have Twitter Blue. He did this shit for the love of the game, for the love of the Twitter algorithm. That's what makes this so fucking great. Oh gosh. No, Dex, go click on the quote tweets.
Can I?
Yeah, don't scroll too. Yeah, that happens if you scroll too
they
far
were
down.
cooking
Where do
this
I?
man.
Where
They
do
were
I? How
cooking
do I
him.
click on the quote
Click
tweets?
on the retweet. Click on the retweet, and it'll give you the option. Click on the retweet. It won't retweet it. I promise.
Like right here. Click on this.
Yes, like right there.
Okay, view quote.
Oh my god. Do you see how Dex doesn't fucking listen to me? Oh my god, I hate this man so much.
Holy
Dex is just like, this must be a scam. This must be a scam.
It must be.
Fucking god.
Yeah, bro's getting cooked in the
Oh. Oh gosh.
Bro's getting cooked.
Anyway, my off-topicness aside here. Oh
God.
Oh my god, no, don't show me that segment clip. I'll go on a fucking rant that's even more off topic. Oh my god, I'll go crazy. I'll go fucking nuclear.
the muscle man clip. Oh my god, he just gets dragged to hell. Oh my
Dex,
god.
Dex, you can stop scrolling. I promise it'll be okay. No, don't show me that fucking Sigma shit.
Oh, this is so much entertaining. I love it here.
Okay, yeah, we'll stop now.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we talked
goodness
about workplace yaoi, and then the man in the voice is, okay, Mega, how about handoffs? How about let's get back to handoffs?
Handoffs. Yeah, back to handoffs. Like, obviously, it sucks when you're in a bad situation because it just creates dead air. I will say I am incredibly lucky where, like, I feel as though I've built up a synergy with most people I cast with to where there isn't that dead air and awkwardness. Like, granted, I say that, and some of the handoffs I've had are probably less than ideal, especially if I'm on play-by-play. So if you're the victim of those, I'm sorry. But overall, like, realistically, like, thinking in recent memory at the very least, there's only one co-caster that has had awful handoffs. And you know, I would say they know who they are, but they don't. It's okay. They don't need to know who they are.
I think we've talked about this person after the podcast.
Yes,
once.
we have. Yes, we have spoken of. So now all of the people who like rewatch this is going to think it's about them. Therefore, we're engagement farming. Perfect.
True.
But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is literally just like it's something that will naturally go away just the more you cast with someone because you just get the feel for each other's styles. As long as you actually just respect and listen to what your co-caster is saying, then you'll be able to pick up on it pretty easily.
You know, that was one thing, like, in the first year of me casting both, like, at my college and, like, when I first started casting at the Peachies, whenever I was play-by-play, like, there were moments where I had to stop myself from saying, hey, buddy, you're not listening to what the co-caster's saying. Fucking listen. It's like I feel like I'm doing better with that. I feel like I'm doing a lot better with that now. But like that's definitely a thing where like sometimes with play-by-play, you're so focused on what's going on in the game, you kind of just tune everything else out, and it's not good.
It happens. It'll.
I really thought you were about to say, "Yeah, I do that to you a lot."
Yeah, to be fair, I do that to you a few times. You definitely done it to me a couple of times. I've had it happen to me more than with other people more than you. If that's any consolation, well, I will throw out some philosophical stuff, and then it'll just be something entirely irrelevant, and it's like, all right, fine by me. We'll come back. We'll put a pin in that one. We'll come back to it later.
Philosophical. Like,
Trying to remember the one time I've casted with like Huntertain, and I just I'm like, I don't remember philosophical stuff from the last time. Maybe I did tune it out. Maybe I'm the problem.
I can't tell you the last time I did cast with you. I have to check Solomon TG to find that out. That's how long it's been.
There's probably a better chance that you casted with Thor in CGL.
At some point, probably. But now I'm really curious.
Probably not this season. Probably last season, because I did not touch any CGL related stuff until like playoffs, and that was when, hey, Thor, do prod. Okay.
Man, this is slow today.
I was gonna say, I felt like I
Solomon,
casted
that
with
DD's
you.
fine.
Maybe. Borple?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I mean,
try to
okay,
find.
yeah, you know what? That was that was 3 months ago. Never mind.
It was Borple. I think it was Borple. That was the last time I think I actually casted. I think I had the most number of casts with BPL that last season.
Yeah. So the last game that I have on record that we casted together was back on June 9th of last year.
Woo!
18 months going strong.
Let's go, going strong.
It's not the
You're just avoiding Thor at all costs. It seems that seems to be
listen. I haven't avoided anything. Okay, I've avoided nothing.
I think the one time I was face to face with Huntertain was, I think Hunter was playing tank on Crows.
Yeah. Yes, I was. Good times.
You were on Crows and I was on Sharks, and that was a featured match that I forgot from my brain.
Because Dex, you did that match too, didn't you?
Don't ask me.
Was that you? I feel like you did. I swear you did.
Hey, I might write this shit down, but I don't like. That's one thing.
I bet I could find it. Yeah, that was you. It was you. Yeah, it was.
Okay, I would like to believe that Hunter's like, oh, maybe I can find it. He actually just has an archive of every VOD of every game he's ever played.
No, like
it was on Solomon GG. So
well, yeah, if you have a player page, you have a
No.
One thing I don't have.
No, no. Here's the thing. I recognize and acknowledge that, but I believe, Hunter, that you have that even for matches you lose. Like, you have the VODs downloaded just so you can go back and be like, oh, look at this, like, one shatter I hit, though. Here we go. Check this out real quick.
Look at all these plays.
Like full on, just like instead of Patrick Bateman with the fucking music, you're just like, all right, check out this one shatter I hit in 2021. That's gonna go crazy.
Look at all these plays I hit that won us fights, and look at all these plays that my teammates made that lost us the series.
Look. The only VODs I have are the ones that have been saved through Solomon GG. It's the only ones that exist. And thankfully, some good ones exist. Unfortunately, not that stream game.
Oh, yeah, not that stream game. Like, oh, please, no. That was... Somehow that streamed game made my team realize we were good at Throne of Anubis and would just toss it into our map choices. It was weird.
Oh yeah. We were not happy that we lost that map.
Wait, Throne or Temple?
Throne.
It was Throne.
This was an SPCS.
Oh, not the superior version.
We tossed that map, and that was so sad.
It was Clash. People toss that all the time.
People toss that all the time.
We were up like 4-3. It's like, all right, we got this. Turns out we did not have it. We did not.
All right. Okay, here.
Oh my god.
Let's get into this. Let's get into the second.
Get back to track, right? Like,
whatever. My former glories. All right, whatever.
Your former glories. Hunter, you're 27. If you're talking about your former glories, man.
I'm 28, man. Listen.
I'm trying to give you a year here, man.
You're talking to the BPL ceiling champion.
What a freeze frame. What a freeze frame.
Hang on. Hunter's getting too big for his britches. I need to see if he's mentioned it all in the Crystal Rain video from the minigame tournament. Because if so,
I got rolled in that tournament. I was terrible.
Why weren't you in the one yesterday?
Because I didn't realize it was yesterday. Also, because I was busy doing the Sudamericana.
Listen, I could have gotten to clown you again. It would have been so fun. I got to clown you in Intel.
You should have reminded me. It's unfortunate.
Anyway, the second part of the question.
Yeah, so
Continue.
the second part of the question, Thor, you kind of already answered it here a little bit, especially when we were talking about the initial part of what got you in. But what kind of keeps you coming back? Like I said, you already did answer it, but just what's one of the main reasons that keeps you coming back to doing stuff with esports prod?
I have two answers, two halves to an answer for that one. The first one is the typical really nice PR answer of I like doing it for the community, being part of a community, which is true at the end of the day, right? I do like the community building that being in production provides, not just building community, but even within like the production behind the scenes. It's a community itself. You have your own inside jokes and references as a result of just producing and observing and casting how many matches in a given season of a tournament, for example. The other half of why I keep doing this is because I realize that as much as I like doing this, it is like now my hobby rather than something I view as like, hey, this is gonna be something I want to do for work full time into the future. Yeah, no, that's out of the window, right? So this is like my surprisingly R&R from my 9 to 5. And that is why I keep going back to it, because my 9 to 5 is boring, sleeper, and this is more fun.
I have to choose my words wisely here, since my parents, who are also my bosses, listen to this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Brett's been handed a
Words,
live hand
PR,
grenade.
PR.
I've been handed a live hand grenade. The pin is
Crazy.
I don't know if the pin's still there, but I'm holding on to it.
Keep holding it.
Hold it. Trust the process.
Hopefully by this point, hopefully by the time we got to workplace Yaoi, they decided just to tab out.
They just said, yeah, that's enough for me.
Like,
no, see, the actual tech on that is they heard workplace Yaoi, and they leaned in. They actually have like little flags already made of like you and Hunter, like in like a heart. You know how like those fan shippers do? Like it's like a little flag they're waving of that somewhere. I really hope for your sake with me saying this, they are not listening. I really hope. I'm just saying words. I'm sorry.
is this the clip?
It might be the clip, honestly. There's already been a couple of good ones.
I have 3 ideas written already.
Oh, good lord.
Oh god, is that gonna be the title of this episode?
Hey, I mean, does this podcast have an HR department?
Not yet.
No, yeah, it does.
Are we possibly heading that way?
No, we have an HR department, because I've at least cut out two episodes down a little bit.
We edited 2 episodes? I thought we edited 1.
No, we've done 2 now.
1 for Hunter and 1 for Reserve.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Reserve?
He was 2 episodes ago.
That's crazy. Bro was just here
2 episodes ago.
Was I there that week?
Yes. I think you left
were.
a little bit early, but you were there.
Yo, Reserve, you watched this episode. I don't know who you were. Me, sorry.
God damn it,
I don't fucking remember.
That was the one I had to use an actual notepad for, because I couldn't find my fucking stylus from my iPad. I don't have the notes from that one. Hunter, if these workplace Yaoi allegations go on, me and you might have to stop doing stuff.
That's crazy.
Or double down.
Listen,
yeah,
please.
It's one or the other. I agree. Double down's another way to do it.
Please listen, Dex. You're my only path to success. If you leave me, I'm dead. It's over.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You're just feeding it.
I'm not doing anything.
I don't.
No way.
Here, let me fan the flames here a little bit more. What was the
Cool.
name of it? Did you guys talk about that portion of it?
No,
The
no, you
name?
were only gone for like a minute. We simply said this is great Yaoi. That's pretty much the extent of what we said.
Mm,
Yeah, that's why we told you to go to CGL Live 1 together.
crazy.
I really don't want to have to explain what the fuck Yaoi to my parents.
You don't have to.
I'll explain it to them. Get me on a call with them.
Probably tomorrow's probably not the best day for that.
Probably not. I don't think there's really a good time to ever introduce me to someone.
No,
But is there a bad time though?
No, Mega. I will say this: my mom thinks you're hilarious.
That scares me. That scares me. I would much. I can deal with people being like, "Hey, this person hates you." I can deal with that. I can absolutely be like, "That makes sense." Someone saying they think I'm funny, it's like, "Oh no, oh no, it's worse."
It's Jover.
Mega is just like, do I have to be performative now?
Listen, you were Thor accidentally hitting the real trauma. Monka fucking W.
God, you know, when I woke up this morning and I thought about the podcast, I don't think workplace Yaoi was even a consideration. How about we get back to the question a little bit here with
Lord.
what keeps you coming back, Thor? I know you gave us a good answer already, but the workplace Yaoi has sidetracked me so much, I've forgotten what we've talked about.
It's over.
I think the reason why we deviated, because this was my reason number 2 for why I do it, which is the whole, this is more fun to do than my 9 to 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The
yeah,
live hand
like,
grenade.
Yeah, it's like more fun to do than my 9 to 5, but my 9 to 5 phased me. So, my 9 to 5 phased me way more than casting at my current state would ever do. So it's one of those things of, I have fun doing this. I like helping out people, and I'm one of those few people who actually believe that you don't have to monetize your hobbies. Don't fall into the capitalist trap of of like turning your hobbies into money-making schemes, because it's going to just make you hate your hobby and you're going to have to find a new one. And then the cycle just continues. This is why capitalism is a problem one way or another. But I digress. Let's not go there. That's a whole different kind of worms.
Holy truth, Nuke. Fucking based as hell opinions. Jeez, like, wait, hold up. Get that on a t-shirt.
Oh god. No, we can't do that because then we're just feeding into the capitalistic trend of having to sell it.
Thank you for getting the joke. Thank you for getting the joke. I appreciate it.
Oh, Hunter freeze.
No, but honestly,
Hunter...
that Hunter froze. Again,
It's just gonna keep happening, honestly. At this stage of the game.
Let's just. I'm gonna try to take a screenshot every time he fucking freezes.
You know,
we're gonna blame capitalism on this, on why Huntertain's always freezing.
That would be pretty reasonable, all things considered. I'm just gonna make this easy. Just make it so we never have to worry again about Hunter not being there.
Oh, you're just gonna that version of it? You went with that version?
I mean, that's the version I found. I put a bunch of the photos in one group folder, so now it's just a conglomerate of like 20 different photos. It's either that or it's the actual air fryer. So like, pick your poison.
Wait, like an actual air fryer?
Yeah, is this the one? Is this the
yeah?
No,
you didn't name them.
Like, no, not at all. See, like little an actual like I'll bring it in slowly. An actual air fryer.
What's with the fucking bell peppers next to it?
That's what stood out more right away.
I don't know why you got bell peppers anywhere near an air fryer. That is despicable.
I mean, you could definitely use them in an air fryer with some other stuff.
It's not the first option that comes to mind.
When they're right next to.
Use like a knife in an air fryer doesn't mean I should.
I mean,
Like,
you could.
I don't know.
What if you
like,
what if you took a big air fryer and put a small air fryer inside of it?
Yes, air
I'm pretty
fried.
sure we
air
did that
fried.
with microwave.
Whenever
Like we're just repeating ourselves.
It's-
I mean,
Humanity is AI. We're looping.
the
are.
only thing I think of when I see an air fryer like that is that like one little short video where it's like someone opens the air fryer, grabs like a chicken tender, like flicks it between their fingers, and it plays like the Tony Hawk trick sound, and they put it right back in the
Oh
air
my
fryer.
God.
Thank God I don't have whatever algorithm is showing you that, because that sounds terrifying.
It's just someone basically doing this with a chicken tender and then putting it back in.
Yeah, and that
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
terrifying. A chicken tender is meant to be delicious and consumed. How dare you disgrace it by flicking it around like it's a goddamn CSGO knife?
I mean, that just makes the chicken tender look cool as hell.
I mean, makes a
Chicken tender
reasonable
doesn't need
point.
to be cool. It's tasty.
I think doing it just adds more salt.
How? Wait. Are you implying that they took it out in the hand throws? They threw salt at it? Hold on. No, we're breaking this down. We're breaking this down. We're
God.
dissecting this. At what point are, because first off, if it's moving while being salted, none of that salt is staying connected. There's not a chance in hell. You could be Salt Bay for all I care. That's not connecting. That's not sticking around. Like
Lord.
like it's like you ever see those ads for like fast food or whatever, and they show like the chicken getting sauced by like throwing the chicken and the sauce at each other. The sauce doesn't stay on the chicken because you're throwing it at each other. You have to like dunk it. You gotta like get a little bit of a submerged thing going on, not throwing things around. Epic Mealtime profited off of all of you, and it's obvious.
Oh god.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I'm still getting over being sick, and I'm going on rants today.
No, that's great. This is great. This is great. I'm gonna be honest. I'm loving this episode.
I'm just feeding. I'm like feeding the content to like work with.
Oh dear God. Okay. How about this? How about we try to get back on the topic of esports? Let's see if we can stay on the topic of esports for 10 minutes. 10
Oh, I'll
minutes.
set the timer.
I have the timer right here. We're starting it basically at the hour mark.
Oh, lovely.
All right. So, Thor, like you kind of explained, you started off casting. You've now gone over to doing a little bit more production. What was kind of like the first hurdle with learning that side of the of prod, like actually learning how to produce a stream?
Too many technical details as one of them, right? Just the amount of initial setting up to get you to be a producer, at least for in my case it was CGL and Rising Chord. Their packages are pretty much similar to each other, so I kind of like clustered them into like one group. Their package requires, well, I remember when I first set up with Echo, it pretty much took me 2 hours. Like, it took a 2-hour call with Echo to get everything together. And even after 2 hours, we ran into technical difficulties. So we had to reschedule the remaining, like, last thing that needed to be fixed, like, on another day. And the challenge really is the initial barrier of entry of just, holy shit, there's so many things. There's so many companions you need to set up. It's not just, like, a straight shot OBS. There's, like, hey, do you have tally light? Hey, do you have the sinkers? Do you have Sheets IO open? Do you have the JSON files? And then even just setting up the scenes and the sources was also like an additional set of work, because there are so many additional things you have to pull from. And what I didn't expect more than anything, and why I need a upgrade on my PC more than anything, is the sheer amount of memory space that production has taken over on my PC. So that is currently on the next upgrade list is more storage on my PC if I decide to continue doing production related stuff. So a lot of it is that initial barrier is where I found a lot of the struggle. Initially is learning so much new terminology, and there are some days where I guess best example was yesterday when I was troubleshooting I think Nox setup for the Saturday production, and I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I think it's this, but also I don't know. What do you see? Because this is what I see, and it's just sometimes trying to figure out like what is working and what is not working. And sometimes it'll be things like, hey, you have one producer who's using OBS who's proficient at it and at least knows kind of how OBS works, and then the person asking for help is someone who uses vmix, and you're kind of just like, uh they're like, why is this not working? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's this. And like half of the time it's like, nowadays it's more of, okay, troubleshooting things when things don't go as normally planned is where the new kind of more fun stuff in production is for me. I like problem solving. It's stressful. I have fun problem solving when I manage to actually find a solution. I hate it when I don't, which is why it also sucks. Double-edged sword of sorts. But at the end of the day, I think the challenging aspect of moving over is so much new terminology that I still have no idea what it references to. And as someone who likes to see things on a screen to understand where I should be looking for things, it's harder to kind of learn if it's another person's PC and they're trying to explain it to you. And you're just like, I can't find it on mine. Where is it in yours? And back and forth.
I could totally understand that. I mean, I remember I wanted to try to get into observing a little bit, and granted, that's a much easier thing to kind of get into. But I remember Hippie kind of sitting there and explaining everything to me. Is like I had to go find like it was a general package. I forget what it was, but it's like I had to find this. It was like, okay, I have it downloaded. Did he download the right thing? I was like, yeah, I think I did. And then Hippie, I parseced him my screen. He was like, yeah, like I downloaded everything. He's like, no, you didn't. You downloaded the wrong thing. I'm like they're saying, what do you mean? You sent me one link. I clicked the one link. I downloaded. It's like, oh, that's all right. Okay, man. But it's like there's such a learning curve to it all, and like you said, like I feel like a lot of people are gonna be a little bit more of a visual learner with it, and my feeling is with being the producer, it's like you said a little bit more difficult to actually be able to visualize everything, especially when for the most part you're relying on one person to be able to get you in-game footage, or more than one or more people to get you in-game footage for that.
Yeah, I think like from experience so far, it is much more manageable to deal with issues if you only have, I guess, like one observer at the moment. Like you don't really have to change feeds or anything, but if something happens to them, you definitely have to keep your casters like aware and give them a heads up right away when, oh, we may need you to like cover for X number of seconds or minutes sometimes, right? As opposed to when you have more than one, you at least have another feed to go to if things aren't going well for one feed. The challenge though is making sure that different feeds are actually lined up, right? Like so that's why the syncers are really important. And at that point, it's sometimes like, why are you ahead by this number of milliseconds? Like, why just you? Everyone else is fine. Why is it just you? And you're just like pressing like a pause button of sorts, like try to like match it till it's like, okay, it's kind of there, right? And then having to check it once in a while, like that they're still in sync. So, um, that's what sometimes happen. That's what happens like behind the scenes for production when there's more than one observer. So I've been on the observer seat before, so I just ended up moving over to be to the producer role because there was more people needed for it.
And I mean, I know Mega's done a little bit of observing. Hunter does observing for the Faceit streams. Like I said, I've tried observing. I've at least done one CGL series of observing. It's very interesting, and like you said with the tally light, which is something that is very kind of fun to see. I feel like I haven't seen it in a while because there's just been only one observer in a lot of recent series. But like you said, there's times where it's like, oh yeah, there's 3 people, they're all lined up. How is this person 3 seconds ahead? It's really funny, and like there's sometimes where it somehow makes it into the game where there's just one observer who's like either 1 second ahead or 1 second behind, and the producer will swap to that person, and you would already call a kill, but then you see the kill again, and it's one of those moments where you're like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Yep. And that's where like a lot of the problem solving happens. Like the part of the extra kind of like work behind the scenes really is, oh, we gotta fix this while the stream is happening. Or like while the match is happening. And sometimes it's also just deciding, okay, we're not using your feed for this specific map. We'll troubleshoot it over during when we're back to caster cams or something like that, right? During the ban scene whatsoever. That's where we end up trying to fix it. But once in a while you will definitely see, and it gets obvious when production is trying to fix something behind the scenes. You'll notice if there are multiple observers in a call, yet somehow your feed is only showing red team, you know there is something going on in like whoever is solo specking blue team or whoever's doing overhead.
Yeah.
And like that's usually the best explanation of what's happening.
Yeah, because sometimes you also just see it where if that's the case where there's one person focusing on one team and the other one focusing on the other, where it's like, oh shit, I have to start doing both at the moment. They're like, you quickly see him go through the other team, their POVs, especially if they're like very quick in succession because, oh, one's dead, the other one's dead as well. They're just trying to find someone alive on it. It's interesting to see it like that. But I mean, in your case here, with being someone who started off casting, went over to observing now and producing, is there anywhere in there that you think it helps you be able to kind of help the casters kind of, tell the story of the series at all?
Oh, definitely. I think when you come from a caster POV, you have an idea of, okay, you're trying to tell a story with these fights. You're also wanting to monitor ults, value of ults. So you carry that over pretty easily to observing as one. Let's start off there. Like when you're observing, you pretty much are giving the feed on, okay, this is what we have for ultimates available. And you get to kind of decide which ultimate to which hero to spectate on, just because you know there's a likelihood that ult is going to happen. And that's where I think for a lot of observers, actually behind the scenes, even with producers, we talk about, oh, this is what's the current lineup for ultimates. We actually talk about it and be like, okay, these are the ults. They're likely using this next fight. So someone is already like kind of spectating, waiting for that to happen, whether it's the observer who's already on that specific player, or if it's the overhead third person camera who is trying to at least get an idea where that ult will be used is going to happen. So I think that's what's been great about the transition is I already know what the casters would like to see. So it's just a matter of like, okay, now can we give it to them? Right. And sometimes it's not really in our control. Sometimes we'll be like, we think it really is this one. Then the players decide in game they're gonna do something else. And we'll just be like, did anyone catch it? Did anyone catch it? And then like we just hope someone catches it, right? And I think that's where a lot of for observing, if you're the solo observer, like you have the most control for it. Producers will then have control if there's more than one observer, because now you get to decide, okay, what story am I going to say? Am I wanting to give that overhead view of the fight, right? Because that's what we need at the moment. Or do we want to focus on this specific hero because they're about to use like a major ult like Soj Overclock?
Yeah. And here, let me ask Mega this, because she's done a little bit more observing than both me and Hunter. Like, Mega, in this case here, do you normally try to maybe or do you potentially try to help casters at least along with the story? I think I've asked you this before, but like at least help casters along with like what you think is coming up, trying to get them to focus on it when you're observing, or is it just kind of, or no? Do you hope that the casters are picking up what you're trying to do when you're observing a certain thing?
So being honest, like my observing is very awful. Even I love how you always bring this up because like my observing truly it does not improve. But I do generally because it's one of the things of you have to be able to hear the casters and you don't always get that. Like best case scenario sometimes for the times I've observed is sometimes the producer will relay be like, hey, they're talking about the Genji a lot or something like that. But because I do have that sort of casting first mentality, whenever, especially because I'm only POV, I don't do free cam because I don't trust myself with it. I always like to kind of look around and be like, okay, what would I look for in this fight? What like if I'm casting it, what am I going to look for that pop off moment? Um, and I immediately try to flip to that, which is just general observer stuff you do anyway. Um, but like like if I in an ideal world, I would love to have that feed of caster information when I'm observing purely because then like you said being able to prop up whatever they're building just makes it more cohesive and makes it just flow better for everybody.
And now Hunter, let me ask you this, because this is again a little bit easier for you when we're doing Face It, because you're the observer and the producer. But I have to imagine when I'm talking about something, because me and you aren't sharing the same perspective. Like, I think we've talked about in the past where you're quickly trying to either swap to the player I'm talking about or just at least get to a good spot where I can kind of just talk with it making some sense.
Yeah, because thankfully you don't tend to go off on like a weird tangent when it comes to players. It's very straightforward. So the swap usually is pretty seamless. On the fact that like I hear like Shinigami's name, it's like, oh boop, press hope to God I pressed the right button. It's normally that simple. Um Sometimes it's not that simple and it's more my fault than anything else because I'll be zoned out for a second, realize that you've called somebody. I'm like, oh shit, I need to swap this now. Which the aspect of doing three things at once occasionally gets to me, but I enjoy it, so it is what it is. But nah, it's never like a big issue. I've never had it that way. There will be times where I will trust my own judgment if I'm like, hey, this EMP is on the way and we have not said a word about it. I'm throwing it on the Sombra. It's basically just a judgment call on the spot, and it's worked out more often than not. Didn't work out last night, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean, last night was a stomp
A
for the most
game.
part. It was
Yeah.
it was a game, but hey,
A game of
happens
Overwatch.
happens a lot. But
Mm.
like Thor, like I mean, in that first 2 hours where you're kind of sitting there with Echo, really like getting the kind of crash course on it. What was one thing that you thought maybe would be a little bit difficult to necessarily kind of get a grasp of, but once you started doing, more prods, like, oh, this is actually really kind of simple and almost mundane. It's like something that very easy to do. Like, what did you have something like that?
Um, I I think more than anything was I may have like when I started overthought how complicated running the show would be. Because pretty much as like the producer, you're the whole production is pretty much like your call. Like what scene's going to be propped up, all that, what the breaks are, right? And so I thought I would be um stressed out in like making sure all the information is in a scene at any given moment, and then making sure it's properly transitioned to that time, and hearing all the cluttered cues of like, because I have the feed of like, okay, what the casters are saying, and then having to like also talk to like my observer or whoever's in the room with me. And so I'm all like, my biggest worry was, oh, I wouldn't be able to like manage all the noise. I've learned is that if the only time I actually get really like, guys, this is too much, is when I suddenly have to troubleshoot someone else's issue when they come in. And that's what happened this weekend, where it's like, oh, I'm in the middle of a match that I'm currently producing already, and like someone comes in and is like, Thor, help. And I'm just like now that's where like the balancing is like, I could help because I know you are starting soon, but also like trying to figure out where to squeeze in like the timings of like helping out people is where it suddenly becomes I can't I've learned I can only problem solve for myself, and then having to problem solve for other people while I'm already doing something is where like the brain too smooth. I can't anymore. I don't like the additional voices.
I would like, you're already having to deal with at least 3 other voices, especially last night. I would imagine adding 1 or 2 more. It's just like, I'm gonna tune someone out. It's probably gonna be the person who's not actively a part of this thing I'm currently doing.
Yeah, but I think, just to summarize, really, the answer to that question, it is, my biggest worry when I started was like, can I actually manage balancing all the things that need to be balanced? And then as I did more of it, I was like, oh, I actually can. And then until someone comes in and decides to like, oh, well, there's my momentum. Where there's the someone threw off the vibe. I don't like this here. Get out. Help me.
Someone came in, crashed the vibe, and then left, and I cannot recoup the vibe. It's all ruined.
It's all ruined.
Hey, are you okay?
I am okay. Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a
He's currently chewing my finger.
interesting choice.
Eh. Oh, no. I put her on the ground. She immediately attacks my ankle.
Better your ankle than your wires.
True.
That's next, probably. Most likely.
Ooh boy.
I have too many exposed wires in this office. Too many. Hunter, how's it being an air fryer still?
Honestly, it's phenomenal. Like, I don't have to worry about a thing. I'm only used like a few times throughout the day at most. Like, I'm chillaxing. And honestly, the 401k matching is superb.
I think it's time we get a new one, though, so we're going to have to throw you out.
What do you mean? I'm like the newest model.
I mean, I'm looking at that handle there on that photo. It's discolored a little bit. That's definitely been used for a couple years.
This is BS, bro. You know how much time I put into the company?
Probably 2 hours.
That's it.
I can hear you
Yeah,
clicking through your image file.
No, you want to.
I know what you're trying
to fuck around and find out. There's not just one of me. There's 2 of me now.
The second one seems done with you. It seems so done with your shit. What a freeze frame.
Wait, that's even better. There's another freeze. That's perfect.
Ah, God, it still hasn't changed either.
What the fuck? Please. Okay, but oh fuck, it's gotten worse.
Why is? Oh God. Hey, Mega, I don't think we need the council back anymore. I think at this point, Hunter's just forming his own
we're fine.
council.
No, we'll be okay. Listen, I'll fix it right now. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix it right now. Okay. Okay.
I'm real. I was about to start assembling the council, but like looking at it more, it like it's not really a council with Hunter. It's more so like I don't know if it's like two Huntertains looking back for approval. Why is there two? Okay, well now they're all in the background.
Okay, let me do a perspective like I'm actually like streaming this shit. Okay, let's make it real easy.
See, I think okay, what's not helping you in the slightest here, Hunter, is like the images of you have more like flesh color versus you are
Wait, that's
looking
not
like
true.
gray. Like you're looking gray for some reason. You've got like you got to fix the color correction or something.
Yeah. I have to use color correction when I use OBS.
Hunter, it's like you're reacting to your own moment that, oh my god, that fixed it so much. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I was about to make
I know
how long have
I
we
know
28 moment.
I know the color I need usually to make it work.
But going back to what I was saying, it's like you're reacting to your own video where you absolutely did something god awful. That's a
here's why me destroying that orphanage was actually a good thing.
What the fuck?
What
you just
what the fuck is that?
You're burning. You are burnt.
There's so much shit. There's so much shit in this folder.
Listen, the cowboy hat already. I mean, listen, we get it. You're trying to get sponsored by Dallas Fuel now that they're back. We get it.
Maybe. Oh,
Winton.
Oh no, that's Dark. That's Dark Winton. He's there to kill you.
Yeah, Dark Winton will take you out of this world. There's no forgiveness. Wow, man. I said there was a collection of stuff. I wasn't kidding.
What
the random students of the game logo. Good God.
Shout out OWCS qualifiers last year.
True. Game capture? There's no game to capture. What do you want from me? Yeah. Everything in here can just go to hell. Let me just get rid of all that.
Okay.
What are you still doing here?
Well, while Hunter goes through his file here, Thor, like, going from we already talked about that. Here, what?
Smooth brain, let's go.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been 2 weeks. But now that you've been able to kind of, experience both sides of prod here, like, what is your kind of takeaway from it, or what's your advice to people who like, Hunter? What the fuck? What's your advice to people who are like casting and potentially like considering wanting to do more on the other side of the of prod, with whether it's observing, producing, replay op, if there's a stats position? I know some leagues have that. Like, what's your kind of advice for them?
I think, and this is honestly my advice for just generally anyone, even like if you decide, even if you're not in like the esports world or whatever, is if there's an opportunity and it's something you want to know a bit more of, just go take it, right? It's one of those things where having additional knowledge in an area is always going to bring some positive addition to whatever knowledge you already have, right? And I think it's also a great way to really understand what happens behind the scenes, beyond just what you're seeing in front of you as a caster. I know a lot of OWCS casters and even like Owls casters previously to even being casters used to do behind the scenes work, right? That's where some of them kind of started and somehow like found their way slowly into being a caster or a desk analyst, right? And a lot of them ended up there because they know what goes on beyond the scenes. They know the type of rapport that's needed with those who run behind the scenes. And the only way you can develop that rapport is by being there yourself, even just for a bit. So I think it's one of those things where if you have a chance to be an observer or to produce just to see how things go behind the scenes, it's super helpful one way or another because it gives you a whole new appreciation to what you're seeing on screen and what you have to cast. And at the same time, it teaches you also what can go wrong behind the scenes and why you as a caster, it is your job to stall. It is part of your like job to stall and to make things happen while things are still happening behind the scenes, like covering pretty much, because you are that front face. So if you know what's happening behind the scenes, you kind of learn how to cover.
Yeah, no, like I'll say this: there are times where like, I think the longest I've ever had to stall was 10 minutes. Oh my god, he's
Same.
back. Like,
Gosh.
and like at a certain point there, like there's a certain point where yeah, you can keep on stalling, but at the same time, there's also a thing where hey, the producer needs to understand like it might just be better to say hey, throw it to throw it to break. We'll figure this stuff out. Don't stall forever because. Like I remember there was one cast where I think it was Spec and Joker who were casting, and I could tell they were stalling, and I could tell it was going on a little bit too long because Joker started talking about the Yankees. And I was like, yeah, it's getting to it. Like they've talked about everything about Overwatch. Now he's gonna bring up the New York Yankees.
Oh my god.
God.
It reminds me of that one time, and I was casting with Rags, and we had to cover, for this was a BPL match, and Rags and I had to talk about Midtown as a map because we were supposed to be going into Midtown for a map, and they were trying to get into the right server for it, and we were definitely stalling to the point that we were talking about ways to improve Midtown as a map and map design. Like we talked about like subways, rats, pigeons, moving subway cars on Midtown. Like we were like pulling whatever, and I'm just like, why hasn't our producer brought us their break? I'm not gonna say who our producer was for that one, but if you find it from the Salmon GG VODs, you'll probably figure out who it was. But
does the name start with a K?
Oh, I played the fifth. So we ended up going into Eichenwald because no matter what was happening, like it just wouldn't go to like a stable to a NA server. It was always going to an EU server for when we wanted to play Midtown. When they finally loaded in Eichenwald, it went to an NA server. It was weird. We were just like, okay, we're running with Eichenwald.
How can you make Eichenwald a better
love
map?
Maps. I don't know. I'm a Midtown enjoyer, so I'm like...
I'm a Midtown enjoyer as well. Like,
but not if I have to stall for 10 minutes.
No, like you can like every map in the game, but dear God, if you have to talk about every map in the game for more than 5 minutes before going into it, I'm gonna hate the map. I don't care how good the map is. I'm just gonna sit there saying, yeah, you know what? Yeah, they did exactly everything we talked about. Wow, this is... Oh, God, this is... I didn't want this. No, but like, that is a very underrated thing, I think, with casting, is just being able to stall out a little bit. And, like you said, it really goes a long way, but at a certain point, your producer has to be able to pull you out. And no matter what, whenever you go into those very long stall periods, once you get into the break, the producer always says, hey, good job stalling out there. It's like, why? Like, I'm waiting for you to say, hey, throw to a break. But then every time that happens, it's like, but I was waiting for you guys to find some sort of conclusion. And then I would have said, throw it to a break. No, just tell me. We will find that conclusion very fast, I assure you.
Type in live 1, live 2. We're going to a break. Throw it to break. Something.
Yeah, like
anything.
Please, good casters read live 1 and live 2.
I want to say, yeah, that's absolutely true. Good casters do that. But a lot of the time, casters will say, well, I don't have 2 monitors. I basically use 1 monitor when I cast. I have a second monitor. I don't use it. I have basically Discord on the right third of my screen, the game on the like bottom right of it, and then anything else is in the top or bottom left, and then anything else I need is in the top left. I make sure I understand what's going on at all points with it. But it also happened last night where Ray said like, as we were talking about teams and the rosters, like, hey, I have to go do something real quick. Cover for me, and I'm just like, oh, and he said that just as I threw it to him. So it was this awkward moment where there's no talking. I read them like, and yeah, this player on this other team I've heard is an excellent tank player. Like again, underrated at times, but I think they're going to be a big difference maker here tonight. And it's like, I was coming to the conclusion, and then I heard Ray put his headset on. I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this and hope he picks it up. He didn't pick it up, but he started talking about the map, which I was perfectly fine with.
I as your producer for that one, I heard that. I was like, oh shoot, this is such weird. Oh no. It's like, the timing of it was like not great. And I was like contemplating, like, wait, I could no, I wouldn't. Like, I could cover, but that would be so weird, like, coming from the producer. But like, no. I'll trust Dex on this one.
Voice of God here, the producer. I'm just gonna cover for a moment here until the other caster gets back. But Mega Hunter, what are your stalling stories?
Mega, you probably have something first. I need to think for a second. It's been a minute.
Why is it always on me to sort of?
I rarely do this nowadays. What do you mean?
No, it's fine, Hunter. It's fine. I mean, here's the thing. My stall, it's considered not professional, and I don't really care. But like, if I have to stall for any length of time, I will flat out rip the band-aid and just be like, "Hey, listen, in case you're wondering why we're still here yapping, players couldn't decide what the fuck they were doing." So and then I start completely random tangents with my co-caster. And I'll just be like, so, like, I go on, like, the Brennan sideshow levels of just fucking bullshittery, where we're just talking about nonsense. And I love it, because I'm not gonna sit here and reiterate the same 4 points over and over again. That's boring. Why do that when I could do what I do best? Be entertaining. And just let me fucking yap about nonsense. Because I promise you, somebody who's listening to an esports broadcast would much rather hear two people talk about nonsense than reiterate points for 5 minutes while a player pulls the fucking whatever brain cells they need together to be able to decide to pick Li Jiang Tower. Like, it blows my mind that there's people who like take the full 5 minutes for a map pick and then they pick King's Row. I'm like, dude, like, you have brain cells. They're working together in there. I know they are. You just gotta fucking put them together a little bit better. It drives me crazy.
Buddy, we know if it's in the map pool, our first 3 maps are going to be a random order of Li Jiang, King's Row, and Suravasa. You don't need to think about this. Just pick them.
Just do it.
If you need an escort, somehow people are always going to circuit. Yeah. It's been the current trend.
Yeah.
It's been the same maps, but no, it's the exact same way. It honestly depends entirely on the situation, but normally I will fall into the point of like, I'll give it a minute to talk about the actual game, and then bullshittery occurs. And it wildly depends on who it is, what it is. If it's a situation where we're doing our face of thing and we realize, hey, they're having to do something with the match, the recent ideology has been, you know what, we're going to break. Yeah. I'm not going to let Dex suffer any longer. I'm just sitting here and having to reiterate the same points over and over again and be like, listen, guys, I'm going to keep it a buck. We don't know what's happening either. We'll find out in about 5 minutes. See you later.
Shout out to week 1, match 1 of Face It last season in South America, where a series literally went on break for 45 minutes, and I think it took me and Hunter 25 of those minutes to figure out we should probably just throw it to our own break.
It was like, oh yeah, we can do that.
We have the technology.
We have technology. Yeah. I finally realized, like, after you told me multiple times, like, yeah, Dex is probably right. We should probably not have to just sit here doing nothing the entire time.
Because at a certain point, like we all kind of said, at a certain point, we're just gonna keep on hitting the same facts over and over and over again, but we're just gonna say it in a little bit of a different way, so it sounds like we're talking about something new.
Yeah. God, it shouldn't be this complicated, but yet it usually is.
Something here.
Nah, you're all good.
Hunter, what about you? What about your question?
I do have a question. Thor. Whether it was at the start of our careers, whether it was when we first got into gaming in general, all of us had some sort of username or gamer tag that some of us stuck with to life. Some of us have changed it around. And over the course of where we're at in our quote unquote careers or hobby, however you want to call it, we're probably sticking to the names we are at. So with that being said, the name Thoriumea, simply, where does it come from?
Background, I have a chemistry degree from my undergrad, and one of the things during my first year college that me and my classmates did was, oh, we're all chemistry majors, we should like have this for fun thing where we turn our actual names into like chemistry puns, or chemistry puns to use as like our Twitter username. And that's where pretty much mine came from. There's a element on the periodic table called thorium. If you shorten it to its two-letter form, it's TH. So pretty much THEA is Thea, which is my name. Therefore, Thoriumea is pretty much just Thea. A lot of people seem to think it's more related to, the Thor as in god of lightning, thunder from like Norse mythology. Nope, I am a complete nerd. That is pretty much the history of it. I am a complete nerd who I just ran with it at some point because no one really uses the username Thoriumea. Like everywhere whether it was Twitter, whether it was Insta, whether it was like on my Twitch, no one really has it. Therefore, I pretty much took it as mine. No competition. It was easy to just pick up.
Yeah. No, it's simple as that. Dex, I don't know if this was ever the case for you or Mega, but like before I solidified a Huntertain, I made sure to look that up and like, listen, I need to scrub the internet, make sure this does not exist somewhere. I do not want to call myself Huntertain, go with that brand, and then just realize there is someone bigger and better with the same name, and it's like, well, back to the drawing board.
There was a decent point there where I had the handle for just Dexatron for everything. Twitch, I did have it originally, but then I forgot the password, and then I forgot the password to the email account, so I couldn't get back into it. So someone has it now. That's why when I'm on Twitch, it's Dexatron _. But and also if you look it up on Instagram, there's gonna be like 3 or 4 Dexatrons. Same thing happened. Forgot the passwords. Forgot the passwords to the emails, and then I just stopped. But I mean, Dexatron is I don't think a very common thing. I think there are other people out there who are called Dexatron. I think it's also like it's a brand. Like it's a brand of something. I don't know if it's medicine or like gloves, but I think there is like something out there that uses the name Dexatron for its brand. But completely different from what we do here, so they do it does not matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. We went on the whole tangent. I forget if you were there for any of it, but like me, Headrammer, and like a couple others, we sat in call and we looked up everybody's like username on eBay and just saw what would come up.
Oh yeah, no, I was there.
Really fun. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember you being there, but my brain's like, I'll ask.
I think that's where we found the gloves.
That is where we found the gloves. Yeah
but like, hippie was there. It's like we know exactly what we're gonna get when we type in hippie.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Piers had
what? Oh yeah. I can't remember most of them at this stage of the game, but
Mega, we probably talked about, but what about you? When going off what we talked about here, when it comes to your name, did you look it up at all before you stuck with Megalass, or was it just you're gonna just kind of deal with it if it's already something else out there?
I definitely the latter, where it's just like I deal with it, because realistically, the only place I've had issue to get the like the at Megalass is Twitter. Everything else, every new game, anytime I'm doing anything, new accounts anywhere, it's never been an issue. Besides Twitter, I literally just actually looked it up because we were talking about it, and I just was curious. Yeah, no, there's this AFK dead Twitter account with 34 followers on it, called Coldplay Carry with the at Megalass account, and it's a private account. Um, Whoever they are, I would love to be rich one day because I will pay money just purely to have the Megalass at. Like, I understand why people do that now. It makes complete sense because it's purely just like I just want the ad. It makes life so much easier instead of having all this extra stuff.
There was a point where my at was just Dexatron, and then I changed it, and I'm not changing it again. But the fact that it's Dexatron definitely has thrown people off in the past because they don't understand that the it is actually part of it.
Actually, yeah, that could get confusing. Now that yeah.
There's definitely been times where we've gone on a broadcast, I've looked down at the name thing and I see at Dexatron. I was like, oh, I have to type in chat and say, hey, it's Dexatron. But at this point, I'm not changing it. I like it.
Nah, it's fine as is. I've never had an issue with my name, except when I made a Riot account. For some reason, Huntertain was taken, and I'm like, I've never made a
Well,
Riot
that was your
account
first
before.
mistake.
Yeah, honestly. So now everything is Huntertain, and Riot account is just Huntertainer. I hate it. I hate it.
You could have been Tane Hunter.
Yeah, honestly, there were definitely better choices, but
anytime
it is what it is.
anytime Dexatron is taken on any like game, I just say, okay, not Dexatron. All right, Mega, what about your question?
Oh, let's go.
My favorite. My favorite. Oh boy, yeah, we got the image and everything. I can't wait for Seth MacFarlane to sue us for copyright on that, by the way. That's gonna be great.
Eventually I will go through and make one.
Yeah, eventually. Thor, as the image here suggests here, you know, sometimes when we're doing the lovely things in esports, sometimes things get us angry, right? And so I want you to think back to all of the broadcasts you've done, whether it's producing, casting, whatever you've been involved with. And generally also for this question, the pettier the better. But think back to a time where someone or something really grinded your gears. I enjoy the thinking here.
Cooking.
I'm like thinking.
Pondering.
I'm pondering. It's a good one. Cause like here's the funny thing. I feel like I've had more grind my gears issues when I was being a player or manager for a team than I have being a caster / producer. I do not know why. It is more stressful, it is more annoying to deal with people when you are managing a team than when you are somehow producing or casting. Like there are days when I'm producing or casting where it's just like sometimes like the players are just being annoying because they're just not getting their way, and like as producer you're just like, well, sucks to be you. Like that's sometimes just it. Like that's the line. Whereas opposed to like, oh gosh, I think what grinded my gears so much when I was a manager were like the really really heavy rule bookers. Like no amount of like, this is a for fun tournament. I do not know why you are so particular on like, oh, it's like 5 minutes. Your player's not here. We have to start, or you're gonna forfeit. And then, and like you're trying to like even work with them on like moving the start time slightly, and then they won't give it to you. Then expect the next time around you're supposed to give them the time of day. Like I think my team. I think I was like a player on one team once where I think we struggled so much just scheduling anything that involved doodles. And I cried. Like doodles isn't like the team back in like Overwatch Tranquility, like back in like season 6 or 7. Vague time, I don't remember exact seasons anymore. Everything's a blur. But I think as much as like rule books exist just to make sure things are in order, it's also a pain in the ass to like do conflict resolution when people are just like heavy rule bookers when you could just agree. Like just give them the courtesy. Because there's going to be another time that you're going to need that courtesy. I don't know. There's like a lot of people who are heavy rule bookers because they're just petty. And like we need like sometimes less petty people in the tournament space, especially if you're like plat or diamond. You're plat or diamond. Like you have so much room for growth. Like there's no reason to be petty in that ego. Like and sometimes like the egos that sometimes appear are just like why? Like why? I'm so confused.
No,
Like why do we have egos? Why? Do we really need to teabag at that one moment? No, we don't.
I feel like the lower you get with rankings, especially in like leagues like CGL, SPCS, Trank, and even BPL to an extent, the more egos you get, and it's just this big thing of like, why? Why do you have this? You don't need this. Oh no, Hunter, why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing with you, man. I'm not saying anything directly.
Like
Hunter is secretly,
like I
these are up here.
I'll always remember the answer Leg Day gave for this question. It was basically just along the lines of NA players are the fucking worst. And not for how they play, just for they will just kind of have excuses ready for everything on why, like, hey, I need a pause. We need to move back to time. Just anything along the line of I'm not ready right now. Can we just like give it like 5 more minutes or anything like that? And rule booking is like that's just such a I think like a little bit of a weak way to try to get a victory over a team. Like there's good examples of rule booking. Like if someone's cheating or if someone is actively breaking, like, hey, yeah, that's a good example of it. But it's like, hey, yeah, someone was 7 minutes late, but 5 minutes is an automatic forfeit. Like, holy shit, you can give 2 minutes.
Yeah, like you could give 2 minutes, or like for if you really wanted to start on time and they have like a ringer option who is, maybe doesn't have enough like hours, right, or games won in that specific role, but their SR is still within like acceptable range to like substitute for like even one map, right? Last minute ringer or something. Like if you wanted it to actually be to start on time rather than force a forfeit, just let them have the ringer in. Like don't make a fuss about it. It's just one map if they're still waiting for their other player, right? Like rather than just like, oh no, your team's not complete, we're also not gonna approve your ringer, so blah blah blah. So just like work with us, because I think what we're missing sometimes a lot with these tournaments where the elos are plat diamond, right? There's still so much room for you to grow as a player. The last thing you need to be thinking about is egos and like winning. I think part of the idea is like, can you get better? Can you get better at the game? Because I can tell you right now, like some of y'all are really just stuck there because we need to like get the ego in check.
Can you get better at the game? But more importantly, can you just become a better person?
Yeah, sometimes it's just that.
Hunter Mega, have you guys ran into rule booking stuff like that in the past? Because you guys have definitely been more of a player than I ever have.
On my neck of the woods, everyone's typically been pretty cordial regarding it. We've always like held in the like I've been with some teammates that are not as cordial, and they'll hold it like as like a secret weapon of like, hey, they did this stuff. If we lose, we can pull it out and see what happens. But no, I've generally never had an issue with it. We've had times where we've had to be like, hey, these guys have been on timeout for like 15 minutes. Like, listen, we love y'all, but like, we want to play the game, please. Yeah, and that's when I asked Omega, and this is when
there was no catching. There was
gotta
no throw, but no catch.
I gotta do a handoff. I forgot.
Okay,
That's my apologies.
okay. Hold on a second.
Okay, yeah. Do we need to reset the handoff?
Like, you need to reset everything. I do not know why. My brain just completely gave up on any and all information. Like,
Yeah, this
I need a second. Hold on.
this really is the smooth brain episode.
Okay. It kind of is, yeah.
It is. This is what happens when, you know, we all came from like Thanksgiving break. It is.
No, listen. Sometimes, like, this is genuinely a thing with me. Like, sometimes I get deja vu to the point where it literally, like, my brain factory resets. I could not tell you anything that has happened in the past, like, hour for a second. That got scary. But it's fine. I'm locked back in. In terms of rulebook, oh boy, I love the Ka Rising community. That's gonna be the first words I say. I love the Ka Rising community. I've gotten in trouble for rule booking. I've seen the backpedal of people rule booking. I've seen people rule book because they're a 1-17 going up against an 8-0 team, and it's the only way in hell they'll ever win. I've seen people say something is okay, lose the first 2 maps, and then try to rule book after the first 2 maps. Listen, all I'm gonna say is if you have to try to rule book your way to a series in an unfair way, like if you're actually cheated and hoed, rule book away. But if you are rule booking because you know it is your only shot in hell of taking a series, kindly go fuck yourself. Take your fucking L. Your dog shit. Go hit the ranked ladder. We'll see you next time.
Valid. Extremely valid.
I'm gonna be honest. I wrote down the time that that we started that right there because I was very afraid I might have to just cut that. But
no, I purposely kept it short so you wouldn't. I didn't get into too much detail.
Thank you for that, Mega.
Fair.
Very much appreciate that. Like I said, rule booking when done correctly, perfectly fine with. When done for bullshit reasons, it's just annoying. It's the worst. It sucks. Especially when it happens on a broadcasted game where it's like, hey, yeah, this team's rule booking this other team. And instead of like I definitely think I've casted a game with you, Mega, where there has been a rule book that did go down and it was saying, yeah, they're gonna forfeit this game, but we're gonna finish the series. And I think we both brought it up like, hey, this series is a forfeit. We're going to play it because it's being streamed, but there was a rule book that came in here. And like, I think both me and Mega were a little mad about it.
Yo, but there was a team that fucking threw the other day on CGL. Oh my god, there was a team. What the fuck was those stupid fucks called? I'm calling them out by name. Where's the match?
No.
I love this.
Oh my god, no! I need to find
out
where was it? It was in live. It was in live tube. Where?
I get to just enjoy this. This is great.
Where the fuck were these stupid fucks? Smile anyways. stupid pieces of shit. Oh my god. No. So here's the fucking bullshit of this, right? It's EU fucking Masters. First off, who gives a fuck? Number one, it's EU Masters. But no, this Smile Anyways roster was like comprised of a bunch of people who played on the team that won EU GM last season, right? So they're already basically smurfing anyways. But fucking these stupid, insufferable pricks. They lose their upper bracket game in a 3-2. They actually lose to Masters players, so they crash the fuck out and throw an entire lower series match for no reason. They're like, yeah, we just don't care about the game anymore. It's like, no, you don't care. You're saying you don't care because y'all fucking smurfing are surprised that you didn't fucking win a game. You got shit on by actual Masters players and you realized you're washed as fuck, and you made me sit through an entire broadcast to watch you get 3-0'd playing crouch only Lucio. Go fuck yourselves. Oh my god, I hate
I was in live one in that crash out, by the way, when that happened in real time on Saturday.
That's so brilliant. Oh my god.
Oh my, like I was fucking pissed. I was upset. Oh my god. And like the entire time I'm just getting messages in live too from like from mods and stuff like, yeah, you and Soev are really keeping this professional on broadcast. I'm like, the broadcast can look fine. I'll be professional on there, but fucking I will type up a storm telling you how I want to strangle each and every fucking player for being useless fucking pricks. You're throwing in fucking CGL Masters. Who gives a fuck? You're trying to ego Masters when you lost to Masters players. Spectreon could thrive in this tier. How do you lose? And then you throw? Oh my god, I can't fucking like yo. I'm just gonna shut up because otherwise I'll go forever.
You know, we've had crash outs from you in the past, Mega, but that one might honestly be, I think, the one that I felt the most like you were actually gonna start like calling out people and just going after their bloodline.
Oh my
Done it on
god.
live too, if you really want to actually take a look at it. But all I know is on that day, it was a definite required crash out because I think live 2 for CGL that afternoon on Saturday definitely had it the worst between the two lives. But even live 1, I had to deal with like insufferable pricks. Pretty much the other team who was slated to win, pretty much. They should have been winning map 3, Circuit Royale. But instead, what do? They push up all 4 of them, right, to like the spawn of the defenders who are coming out, only left their Life Weaver on point during overtime. Okay, during overtime. And the defending team had a Bastion ult. Guess where the Bastion ult went? Onto the Life Weaver, left on cart. He dies. No one else is on cart. C9'd. And suddenly they were being pricks because Mott needed to have a emergency call between map 3 and 4 that, hey, he asked for a 2-minute break. I gave him a 2-minute break just to do that really emergency last minute thing. And suddenly they all started being pissy about it. That, oh, why are we having another break? We just had a break between like maps 2 and 3. And I'm like, yeah, you had a 2-minute break also between maps 2 and 3. In total, you guys had 4 minutes worth. Prod only took 4 minutes worth of break when you guys were late to this match for 10 minutes. Like, you only gave me your roster like 4 minutes to my observer, 4 minutes before even match started. So I had to have my casters also stall for you, and now you have like the annoyance to complain to your producers. But yeah, that was the EU shitstorm that was happening on Saturday afternoon, November 29.
a day
on 2 different lives.
A day that'll go down in infamy in CGL. Oh, dude. I think that's the angriest I've ever heard you sound.
Oh my god. I generally am like a patient person, but like, if you're gonna be like throwing sass at my observer who is just trying to get things rolling along and like copy pastaing in the match chat because we just asked for an additional 2-minute break. Like uncalled for. Just uncalled for. Professionalism.
All right, but before we crash out any further, I think that's a good point to wrap up this episode. Thor, thank you so much for being the guest this week. This was definitely a wild episode, I will say that. From crash outs to workplace yaoi to a lot of other stuff to Nox Cat Girls, I guess. It was a fun one. Hunter, Mega, as always, thank you guys so much for being part of this. And thank you all for watching or listening to this wherever you are. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. And tune in next week for another great episode of For the Love of Prod. And as always, I don't know who it will be. You'll find out when I find out. But until next week, y'all have a good week. Bye.